Mariners lose 6-5 in 11 innings. They fall to 8-10 on the year. They've lost two straight, and obviously they've lost both games of this series against the Brewers. Let's talk about how it happened. Mariners give up a homer in the first, and by Mariners, I mean Christian Yelich takes Logan Gilbert deep to left field to make it 1-0. In the third inning, Yelich singles home Owen Miller to make it 2-0, and Willie Adames doubles home Yelich to make it 3-0. Mariners bounce back quite nicely in the third. Big dumper doubles home Julio Rodriguez and Ty France to make it 3-2. Teoscar Hernandez hits a sac fly to make it 3-3. Tommy La Stella doinks one in, scores a run to make it 3-4. Pretty much nothing happens for a while until the sixth inning, and then Willie Adames crushes a home run to right center field off of Gilbert to tie the game at 4. We head to extras, scoreless. Bryce Terang bounces into a double play, but it does score a run. Ty France is able to tie the game in the 10th with the sac fly, but in the 11th, Willie Adames on a fielder's choice scores Joey Weimer to make it 6-5. The Mariners lose. Look, I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. Today is the first day that I have to say I didn't pay a ton of attention to the game. The Kraken were on, and that was the priority. Absolutely priority. I thought about just recording the Mariner game and not doing a video until the morning, but I work 8 to 4 my time. Just not going to happen. So we'll talk about what I saw. And it was a frustrating game again. There have been so many of these frustrating games. It's worth pointing out the luck that the Mariners had, and you have to use the word luck here. You do. The luck that the Mariners had in one-run games and extra inning games over those past couple of years has not been there so far. It's early, but so far it has not, and the Mariners are due for some redistribution of those wins. There's no doubt about the fact that the Mariners have been very fortunate to be extremely lucky and good in those situations. You know, you have to give credit to the bullpen, have to give credit to some clutch hitting. But one-run games are generally toss-up things. So I've talked about it a whole bunch, and this is another loss. 2-5 now in those situations. One runs in extra inning games. Tough. I thought Logan Gilbert was so today. Thought he bounced back very nicely, really, from the bad first inning, bad second inning, bad sixth inning. But third, fourth, and fifth were really good. Really good. As good as I think I've seen him pitch. That's awesome to see. But unfortunately, that second inning, things got away from him, and he does give up the homer to Adames, which takes a solid, strong start into a pretty mediocre one. Matt Brash was outstanding. Gabe Spire was good again. Paul Sewald was ridiculous. Trevor Gott was okay. So. And just a Topod just didn't have his best command. Just didn't have it. Just get the strikeout. The run ends up being not earned, but he was kind of due for a shaky little game. But the bullpen gave up 0 earned runs. So both of those runs come off the zombie runner. I still hate the zombie runner. I just hate it. Hate it. I'll never be over it. Julio crushes a couple of singles to start. It is worth pointing out that he comes up with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th and can't get the job done. It's tough to be bad at a guy that good. It just is. Bad things happen, but Cal Raleigh was really good again today. 2 for 5 with the 2-run double. Let's talk about Colton Wong, folks. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Just gets worked again. And it's all of 18 games. It's a bad half a month, 3/4, 2/3 of a month, some number of months. But this is now 0.098, 0.190, 0.098. And I think, sure, many of you saw that stat that Foolish Baseball retweeted about how the Mariners have the lowest OPS of anybody at the second base position and the DH position. Mariners did get a hit today from a designated hitter that drove in a run. It was an accident, but it counted. Tommy La Stella drives in the run on a single that he swung hard at and didn't hit hard, but it worked out. Beggars cannot be choosers, folks. Cooper Hummel pinch hits and does absolutely nothing, but I guess he drew a walk. Great. Jose Caballero fills in for JP Crawford. Obviously, Crawford needed some rest. Um, did fine defensively. Did draw a walk. First ever start. Not an answer, obviously. Obviously, if Sam Haggerty was healthy, he would be back in AA or AAA. But Colton Wong, man, at some point, if it's not now, we got to talk about what you're going to do here. Because you can't be less impressive than he's been. You can't. Already dropped to 9th in the order. You know? And here's the scary thing. I don't know what you can do to replace him. Now, look, Dylan Moore is making his way back. Maybe Dylan Moore is your answer at second base, the guy you try out. Look, this was a guy who posted a real high on base percentage, crushed left-handers, at least got on decently against right-handers. Power's not nearly as good. But if Dylan Moore's your answer, folks, I don't think it's a very good answer. I don't. I think Dylan Moore is the perfect utility option to play 2 of 3 times a week, or 2 of 3 games. You know, get your starts against left-handed pitching, sit him against the tough righties. He can't be your answer at second base. He can't be your answer. This team needs an answer at second base based on everything I've seen from Wong so far. It looks awful. It's not just like the eye test does not lie here, folks. It's not just that the results have been bad. He looks bad. He looks like a bad baseball player right now. And the Mariners are going to show him patience for a lot of reasons. One of them is because you're not going to admit this mistake this early on. And 2, it is a sample of, we're 1/9 of the way through the season exactly right now, I believe. Yeah, because 8 times 9, 72, secondary one. Yeah, 1/9. 1/9 of the way through the season. You shouldn't make decisions based on 1/9 of a season. But you got to be aggressive here. You got to be aggressive in, if you think this guy is not going to be the answer, finding a different solution. But let's say Dylan Moore, you want to keep in that utility role. I don't know of a real good option here. I knew of 4 really good options in the offseason. The big 4 shortstops that they should have been really aggressive towards and decided not to be. Yep. I am concerned. I'm concerned as heck about the bottom of this lineup. I don't know. But Kraken won. Go Kraken, baby. That was so fun. Look, I know you're watching this for baseball stuff, but playoff hockey just absolutely owns. It's so good. It's so intense. It's so everything you want in a playoff sport. I just had a blast watching that. Helps that they won, but you know, look, I'm going to watch all of these games and I'm going to recap every single one of these games. But you cannot blame me for paying more attention to the Seattle Kraken tonight than I was to the Seattle Mariners. Especially when they, just played okay. Give me a better reason to watch. Tomorrow I'll certainly be watching. I believe tomorrow's an afternoon game, I would guess, just because it's a Wednesday. Yep, 1:10, and we have Marco Gonzalez against Eric Lauer. Lauer's pretty good. I'll tell you this, the biggest takeaway I've had from this series so far, Brewers are legit. Brewers were legit last year, and things just kind of unraveled on them. But that's a really good baseball team. complete baseball team, very deep roster. And they've got some fun stuff coming. They have the best prospect in baseball, in my mind, in Jackson Churio. They're good. They're real good, and they can make some moves if they want to. Hopefully, they're aggressive at the deadline because that could be a really special team. Picked them to win the World Series a couple of years ago. Not going to do that this year, but I think they're good. I think they are very underrated, and unfortunately, they have made the Mariners look pretty mediocre over these first two games. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, patreon.com/MLB prospect guides. Follow me on Twitter at Crawford_MILB. Really appreciate your support. Reminder that you're getting a really cool, I put the card away, but a really cool Matt Brash baseball card. Somebody, when we get to 400 subscribers, is getting that, and we're getting pretty darn close. Yeah, bummer loss. Stinks that you're going to lose another series, but I think the overall takeaway is go Kraken.